Wholeness. Welcome to Runes of Silvertree. This is in our Silvertree here. This is yet another reading for the human collective, the consciousness of the human collective. And in this energy reading, I will use my runes, or I will be using the term symbols that Source has given to me and revealed to me right here in this space. Please excuse this space. Because my altar is preoccupied right now for another energy cleansing going on. So here we go. I usually burn things off of the camera, but I will tend to, in an opening, anytime I'm doing just tuning into Source, whether at my altar or anywhere in the house or anywhere in particular, I will burn white sage first, and then I'll do the Palo Santo for the closing of my practice. So there that is. Allow that to burn a little bit. So before we get into it, by the time you get this reading, it will be the last day of the space of neutrality before the new moon of November opens, Sunday, November 20th. And so just to put that out there, we'll move the Palo Santo a little bit. Again, it's that new moon energy, right? I'm not quite sure what the astrological sign for the new moon will be, but I do know that energy is real, and I tend to just focus on the moon energy, new moon, full moon energy. That's it. I don't really get into the whole signs on this channel too much. I will focus more on the alchemy of the elements: earth, wind, fire, water, and ether, and that's basically about it. I also will include the animal energies, as well as some concepts of Sufism, but that will be later. That will come sooner than later. Okay, so the title of this is being aware of what is harnessing your energy. Being aware of how your energy is being harnessed. Being aware of why your energy is being harnessed. Okay? By next week, we will have, that new moon portal is open. So again, each time that moon portal, new moon, full moon portal opens, it's 7 days. Okay? 3 days before the moon day, 3 days after. There is a huge flux of energy. Okay, there is either energy coming in or energy being released, but it's harnessed regardless. Okay, so next week all over the world, some places in the world, specifically in the Western world, specifically in the United States, we have the holy day or holiday of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a very traditional celebration that Americans tend to celebrate as a way of gathering. It used to be this concept that they would teach and program to us in school about the Pilgrims and the Indians being friends. Okay? The Pilgrims and Indians will break bread together, and all was well in the world, and they got along great. And that is so very far from the truth, but that's part of the programming. So they've made it a national holy day, holiday. Now, since the past, I think 2020, and maybe 5 or 6 years, I'm not sure when they changed it, but it became Indigenous Day. So recognizing the indigenous traditions, recognizing the indigenous tribes, the indigenous peoples of America, okay, North America, South America, instead of celebrating a false narrative that has been programmed to us in school. There's a lot of energy, okay, around this time. The earth energy is very, very strong during this time. That earth energy is symbolic for the ancestors, okay? Gathering of family, gathering of friends. Also in the season of the winter, we have that self-reflection. We tend to be indoors more, right? We focus more on warmth, keeping ourselves warm, doing things that make us feel warm emotionally, psychologically, wearing your sweaters, drinking your hot apple cider, your hot cocoa, your hot teas, your chai, doing things that are very wholesome and very focused on the heart, and that connects us, right? During this season of winter, we use this time to reflect. Okay, this is the end towards the end of the year. November, novem comes from the Latin number 9, novem, 9 is the end of something and beginning of something. Next month is the 12th month of the Gregorian calendar. December, decem is the Latin word for the number 10. 10 again, completion. Okay, so with all that, let's get started on the readings. We're burning some white sage here to kind of clear the space, clear the area. And again, I apologize for the setup. This will be hopefully by next month. This will be this setup will be back at the altar for sure, because I'm doing other things right now. So yes, let's get started. I want to shake up our symbols here, our energies. Okay, so again, we are focusing on what exactly is harnessing our power at this time. What is it? Okay. Alrighty. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow. 12 entering into that space of December. Okay, so December, the 12, 1 and 2, that equals 3. So that 3 energy is a very that chaotic feminine energy. That dark feminine energy can be very chaotic. A lot of the time we're traveling, we're visiting people, it's the end of the year. It's just a lot of just like a harnessing of energy, holding our breath until January 1st, okay? And this is all according to the Gregorian calendar, the energy of the Gregorian calendar that modern day society we follow, and so it has its own frequency compared to the Mayan calendar or an Ethiopian calendar or the lunar calendar, okay? So we must, be aware of that. So harnessing of energy. Before we get into this reading, I want to discuss what that is a little bit. Harnessing of energy is a way of focusing and directing your energy vortex. So your mind, body, and emotional states. All right. Now, when we're doing this as a human collective, we are feeding and we're pushing ourselves somewhere, okay, into the abyss of consciousness itself, into certain paradigms. We evolve in certain paradigms, we descend in certain paradigms, we grow in certain paradigms, and then we also become very stagnant in certain paradigms as a collective. It's a lot of energy that's going, it's an ebb and flow, okay? There is no wrong, no right, no black, no white. It is what it is. Now, with that being said, there are the powers that be, okay? Call them entities, call them the elite, the they, okay? The they that controls everything, right? Most of the industries, mainstream media, mainstream entertainment, mainstream healthcare, mainstream banking and finance, the things and the beings or the people, entities, the groups of energies that manipulate the masses, okay, that actually are very, very much in tune with the human collective. They're very, very much in tune on how to manipulate energy, or as known as magic, okay? Now, most of the human collective we're not aware of the powers that be. However, we are slowly becoming more and more informed, if you will. Now, how are we becoming more informed? Through technology. And I must use a disclaimer before we get heavy into this. I am not anti-technology. I am not anti-artificial intelligence. I am not anti-electronic devices. However, something like switched in me today about technocracy. I've waited until Source said, okay, you have to kind of wrap this up in a specific way in order for whoever is meant to hear this to ingest it the right way. Okay? When it comes to technocracy, we are being programmed by increments. When 2020 hit, right? When 2020 hit, there was a huge adjustment to our relationship to technocracy, to technology, to the AI. All right? Now we're continuing to embed ourselves deeper and deeper and deeper into our technological devices like never before. With virtual reality like never before. With our electronics like never before. We are technocrats. A lot of the time, see, they're programming all these narratives, right? These political narratives, Democrats, Republicans, the far left, far right, the gender, transsexual narratives, the, anti-abortion or pro-life, all of these stories to keep us distracted from what's truly going on. Okay? We are all, if you own a cell phone, if you own a digital camera, if you have, any access to social media at all, any social media platform, if you have your own website, if you're doing anything to engage with human beings through the use of technology, you are a technocrat. You could be using, it for good, for the benefit of the human evolution. All right, to help expand consciousness, very much like what I'm doing. Okay, my intentions are pretty clear on this channel. You can be using it as an entertainment. You could be using it as, negative commentary. You can be using it for various reasons. But what I'm really pointing out to you is the addiction, okay? The addiction to these devices. We use them to the point where they are an extension of our own consciousness. They're an extension of us. These are the objects. Your phone is the object that's harnessing your life force energy. Now, you can laugh, you can scoff, you can say, well, Naja, Silvertree, it's part of life now. It's something we have to accept. This is how the world works. This is the modern world practice. And yes, it is the modern day practice that we all are saying yes to and that we're all embedding ourselves. But you must understand, what you own owns you. What you plug into is also plugging into you. Our cell phones are a walking, talking portal that harnesses our energy. It collects it. It tricks you in giving you something in exchange. Right? It has your attention. It has your focus. It has your time. All of that is energy. Your priceless energy. In exchange for that, you get the Google Maps. You get access to social media by the snap of your fingers. You get all the information that you want. You make all your purchases. Most of you, some of you, try to make a living through this device, right? You have a following. You have your likes. You have your website. You have your products that you're trying to sell. Some of you go on there to support people who are selling you something, right? Like it's very, very, very almost kind of sinister in a way on how this is happening. Those of us who are sensitive, who are empathic, who are, are spiritual practitioners, meaning you're not just talking about the spiritual path. You're not, regurgitating what you're reading from a holy book from memory, right? You're literally, it's a daily practice of tuning into spirit. Okay? So that's what I wanted to really kind of just dig in, is that your energy is being harnessed. And the first step, okay, of making a change is awareness of this. All right. I am not anti-technology, okay, as a technocrat, because I use the cell phone devices for many, many different reasons. Okay. I use it for many reasons, but like awareness, being conscious of where your energy is being pulled and harnessed, because it's harnessing millions of us all around the world. It doesn't matter if you have a pay, what do they call it? Those minute phones. You like literally like you pay $50 a month to put 50 minutes on the phone. Those little flip phones. I owned one back in the day, and now your phone can talk to you. Okay, your phone can do all kinds of things for you. So without your phone, without this constant use of your energy being harnessed, you can harness your own energy. Okay, so there's a major imbalance that I see and I feel with that. So let's take a look at the symbols here, okay, in the womb of all creation. So we have, again, I believe it's 12. Yeah, there's 12. We'll break that 12 to a 3. Okay, that 3 is the number of chaos, is that creative life force energy, right? The I guess the positive aspect of that number 3 is creative life force. It's creativity. It's that drive to do, to innovate, to organize your ideas. It's inspiration, right? And then the negative aspect or shadow aspect of the number 3 is complete chaos. Like there's too much energy. You can't focus, right? You're not stable. You're ungrounded. It's like a 3-legged chair. That's that type of energy that can be in. So again, we're getting closer towards the end of the month of November into December. Take this reading, however, place it however you want. You can put this, towards the month of December if you like, for what will take place the next couple of weeks. Again, this is, an energy reading before the new moon, but here we go. All right. So all the symbols that are facing upright are energies that we're facing right now, that the human consciousness is facing right now. Okay. So we have the new moon, right? We have broken cycle, hidden path. We have, all I hear is chaos, right? But this is the rune of alchemy, but I'm hearing the word chaos from this. And we have, I'm seeing the bunny, I'm seeing the rabbit, right? The rabbit is the earth energy, but it's a very nervous energy. It's very jittery. Have you ever seen a rabbit sitting still and it looks like it's like just shaking. I've seen that before where I'm like, wow, like even in a space of like stillness, the rabbit is still moving. And it's just because of its heart rate. It's very fast, and it's just naturally a very nervous looking little creature. And then last but not least, we have the wheel, the seasonal shift. Okay. Now I live in a very northern part of North America where it's snowing, and it's like just we're at the very beginning of snowfall, okay, for the season. And so, you know, most of us want to stay indoors. You have that new moon energy, right? And that new moon portal is going to open up tomorrow. So, you know, it's you want to stay indoors. You want to go inside. You want to self-reflect. And then we have that broken cycle, new path. So that newness, setting your intentions at this time. Okay. Now with all this harnessing of the power, okay, through our devices. All right. It's kind of negative. I'm feeling like it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. And I think to create balance with this, because, you know, technocracy as technocrats, I say technocrats, if you use a cell phone, if you have any technical connection to anything, okay, social media platforms, what have you, you're doing anything online, you're a technocrat. Clarifying your intentions on why you use what you're using. Knowing your why. Why? What is your intention? Is your intention to tune in and gather more information on things you don't know enough about? Is it for educational purposes? For yourself? Are you trying to educate yourself? Are you trying to educate other people? Are you trying to entertain yourself? Are you trying to entertain other people? You know, it's almost back to the whole creator consumer. We all have to create something. We all have to consume something. Sometimes most of us are consuming too much, and that's the imbalance. All right. I get a lot of anxiety too with this obsession with needing to consume. We spend a lot of energy at the very end of the year when we should be going within ourselves, within our own darkness. And no, darkness is not evil. Darkness is not a bad thing. Darkness is when you close your eyes, right? And what do you see when you're meditating? Darkness, right? When you plant a seed to grow food, the seed, in order for the seed to germinate, it needs what? Darkness in the soil, okay? When a woman conceives a child, a baby, within her womb, darkness. So, darkness is not a bad thing. Darkness is a space and place where you explore the mysteries of the self. So what's really, really very interesting is that I find that the human consciousness during this last part of the cycle, okay, the winter, we should be going within ourselves to self-reflect, not going out and spending money and buying and buy. I got to get them gifts. I have to do this. I have to make this food. I have to make this meal. I got to go over here. I got to go over there. I got to travel. I got to go visit. It's supposed to be the time of going within, staying home, making your meal at home. Okay? That's what winter is. If you look at nature lays out everything for us. It's a great mirror of what we should be doing. Okay? I always find that the best time of the year when it comes to cycles and seasons, the best time to travel is, you know, during the spring, summer, for sure. But we're programmed to go out in the moments that we should be going within ourselves and reflecting. Okay, this push to spend money you don't have and to spend energy where you don't have it on people that you only call you once or twice a year. right? I know this is kind of hard to hear, but at the same time, with this earth energy that I'm feeling in this reading, it's kind of like, be cautious of where you're placing your energy, because something or someone is harnessing it. Just harnessing it for their own gain, for their own uses. So your question is, well, Silvertree, how do you go about stopping this? You can never stop it. It's about balance. You harness other people's energy too. It's not just someone taking yours. You're also taking someone else's energy in. But doing it in a healthy way and in a balanced way. I'm getting the rabbit energy for some reason. The white rabbit. Okay. And I'm getting like the red eyes, the rabbit who has like the albino gene, where the red, they have the red iris. And I'm not sure what that means, but there's something about the white rabbit that's very revealing. Like, you can't miss it, right? And so it's like, if we follow the white rabbit within ourselves and we go down that hole to see and explore the mysteries of the self, we take that time, we make that time, we can reestablish where we need to harness energy, where we need to release, where we need to create, where we need to consume. There's nothing wrong with entertaining yourself with, the technocratic material, okay? That's all that it is. All this information that you're gathering from online or offline is also gathering information from you. Like, even in this reading, something is gathering the information from what I'm saying. Right? Is that evil? Is that wrong? Is that dark? These are very weird and odd questions, but again, tis the season of reflection, okay? So with these 5 energies, okay, and the 5, and yes, I like to include a little numerology in my readings. It feels natural to do so. With the 5 energy, 5 also represents transformation or transformative change. Transformative change. So like the 3, it is chaotic, but it's transformative. And 5 can represent the human, the 5 senses, the alchemist. Okay? And so this is a self-reflection, is sort of a way of alchemizing. You're alchemizing using that wind energy. You're sitting in thought and meditation. You're going within, you're exploring the meditative mind. And you can tune into the human collective and how that affects your individual, independent, sovereign experience. Let's move on. So the next energy I'm going to read, when the energy is up on its side, that's an energy that is known to some and unknown to some. So some people are aware of it, others are not. Okay, and then when the energy is facing down, these are energies that are ruling the human collective secretly, silently, and that's that. So we only have one rune that's on its right side up, and that is the arrow. Okay, I'm hearing the word growth. Growth. So it looks like the herb, it looks like the tree, it looks like the flora. Okay. And that is, so some of us are growing. Some of us are releasing that serpent skin. Some of us are doing the work, the self-reflection. What do we need to improve on, right? For the next cycle, the next season, starting according to the Gregorian calendar, the next season that's coming up, that's from June 1st to March 31st. Or the whole year. A lot happens between, within 1 to 90 days. You can have a whole shift in 90 days. And in occultism and in some Eastern traditions, 90 days is enough to switch your subconscious mind, to train the subconscious mind. So every 90 days you have a chance to shift, to introduce, to transform, to release, to let go something that doesn't serve you, your path. So some of us are not using this time to grow. Some of us are numbing ourselves out. I'm guilty of that as well. A lot of the time, the things that we need to do, they're boring. They hurt. They have some kind of emotional pain, whether it's a health crisis you don't want to deal with, whether that's a money crisis you don't want to deal with, whether that's a spiritual, conscious, psychological well-being crisis you don't want to deal with, mental issues you don't want to deal with, family issues you don't want to deal with. You don't want to grow. You don't want to grow because growth is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. Okay? And so some of us are kind of turning away from the tree of wisdom, the tree of knowledge, not the tree of knowledge, like the fruitful tree. Knowing that once we take a bite from that fruit, we gain certain knowledge that's very hard to digest. It's a challenge to digest. But guess what? When we digest it, we know. Also, this is, I'm getting that with knowledge, it can liberate you or it can hinder you. Some things are not needed to be known. There's almost like there's too much information, right? Terms are being misused, are being redefined. It's causing a lot of confusion for society as a whole. We don't know what's up or down anymore. And sometimes it's okay to challenge what's always been, but at the same time, it can be quite confusing for those of us who don't, in the human collective, who don't have a solid grip, who can't stand on our own 2 feet. Like it's that three-legged chair again. Okay, very good. Now let's look at the runes that are things that are unknown to the human collective. We have the energy. So a force, energy force. A force, so a forcing, what's the word? Affordable energy, a strong energy. The headless man. The human man. Wow, okay. Oof. All right, this one's a very complex energy here, so I'll take my time on that one. Okay, we have the water fire, or the fire, the flame. I'm not sure quite yet. I'm gonna feel water here, the water energy, and then frequency. This is frequency, guides. Okay, there's 7 energies there. 7 is very spiritual energy. It's divine energy. All right, so as to not get confused, I'm going to flip over the ones that were upright so I can take a look at the energies that are governing, the secret energies that are governing the human consciousness. So we have, I'm going to use the term Jihad, and Jihad in Islamic tradition means the holy war. Sadly, over 20 years ago, 25 years ago, this term has been, again, it's that thing, right? Misinformation, that you bite into the fruit, and you have that misinformation, that word that's redefined, given a whole different spin on it, right? So the word jihad means holy war, And in Islamic tradition, Muslims speak of this war that's within the self, right? It's within, a war that is within, the light, the shadow within yourself, that dualistic dichotomy within yourself, that one you must face within. But sadly, that word has been I believe misused, and people equate it to, like radical Islamists or Muslims. And, the radical Islamists, I'm not going to call them Muslims because that's not what they are. Radical Islamists, they have, I guess, used this word to go literally, violently go against the opposing forces in their paradigm, okay? But for Muslims, in the true tradition of Islam, Jihad represents the internal war one faces within themselves, within their own consciousness, that one must work on throughout your entire life. It is not easy. And what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing a man or human being strong, man or woman, strong in who they are. They are the alchemists. They're standing in their power. You see, there's also a path right there in the middle. They know who they are. They're standing very firm in their power, very firm in their path. Okay? And then you have a headless man. That 3 energy shows up yet again. That 3 energy, that chaos, okay? That dark feminine energy. And so you have that 5, that 3, together that's 8. 8 is usually the energy of prosperity when working together, right? So you have that dark feminine, you have that masculine, okay? And it's 2 opposing forces. And when I use the word dark, I'm not meaning evil. It's just 2 energies, the masculine, feminine energies. I don't even want to label it as that, but they're just these 2 forces, and you can see it here. It's a force of energy, and that's representative of that jihad. And this is the person, the initiate, the human consciousness as a whole, standing, walking through that door to face their holy, sacred jihad. Okay? So these are the energies that are ruling, and then we have frequencies coming in, right? We have frequencies coming in at this time, for sure. This is very much in alignment. When I see this, guides, I see ancestral guides, I see guardians, angelic realm even. Then I have water, purification. So there is an internal struggle still within the human consciousness, within the human collective. Now, tying this into the harnessing of power, when you declare your stance with your own personal jihad, your own holy war within yourself, that's where you will gain clarity for what and how you create or consume energy, how you influence or how you are influenced in your life. When you are this person here, standing, walking through that portal, look at the moon, the new moon and the full moon, energy is there. It's very balanced. You're not a victim of the unknown, and you're not a victim of the known. You're just there. You're just in a state of complete being. When you stand firm as an alchemist, then you know how to deal with the chaos. When you stand firm as an alchemist within yourself, you know how to manipulate with chaotic energy, because it's just energy, not bad or good. It's just pure energy. And when you can stand firm with the Jihad within yourself, you will be equipped to deal with the outside forces. I'm going to turn these around, or external forces, because these are the energies that oh crap, I don't want to get mixed up here. Okay, yep, that's the new moon. Turning this one over. Okay. So, now that we are aware of the internal struggle, right? That holy war within ourselves. Setting your intentions. Facing your fear, because the rabbit, although very speedy, very fast, usually it's running for its life. Okay? But when you tune into the internal holy war within yourself, you follow the rabbit, you follow the fear. And the fear will reveal the mysteries of your internal self, the new moon within you. And thus, and again, the alchemy, these are the elements: ether, water, wind, earth, fire. And the hands, you see the hands? Manipulating it. It looks like an atom. It looks like, with electrons and protons and neutrons. Then you'll be able to be better equipped for the seasons. You see the 4 seasons right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And again, it's all here. It's all here. So that is the reading. So I'm not quite sure what the title will be for this, because now that we know it's declaring your stance with the Jihad, or the holy war within you, that will dictate your direction for next year, for the rest of this season, but really for the rest of next year. 2023, that's 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. Again, that's 7 energy. I'll show you right here. Is spiritual, higher frequency. It's the spiritual self of the human collective. So declaring your holy war now. Okay? Declaring your Jihad. Like, meaning you are aware of what is going on within you. You're aware of your internal struggles. When you become aware, that's the first step of integration, of purification, of detoxification, spiritual, energetic detoxification of your consciousness. The first step is awareness. Because the external forces that are controlling you, it's controlling us. I'm going to include myself in this because I'm here. I'm human, right? And so the external forces begins to weaken. It loses its grip. Our awareness of what's going on internally lessens the grip of the external forces that are taking place. That's literally controlling the human collective through every facet that you can think of. Even in the New Age spiritual community, that's been hijacked for a long time, much longer, much longer before, this whole ascension and golden age and the age of Aquarius and the crystal boom and the essential oil boom and the whole, guru and all this other stuff. Because anything that's new age, it's not new age, it's ancient. It's been done before. There's nothing new about it. So, with that being said, become aware of the Jihad within yourself. Okay? That's going to help you clarify your intentions for the new moon. That's going to help you set and become more focused on the path, new path. It's going to help you become a stronger alchemist. It'll help you face your fears. Follow the right white rabbit. Okay? And you'll be prepared for next year. This is like my year symbol. Okay? You have all the 4 seasons. So whenever this comes up, this means, and it's facing upwards, this means that this is literally in your face. This is something that's coming up. Okay? Which is 2023, which is the 7. 7 is a spiritual number. It's about spirituality, consciousness, awareness. All right, so that is that. I did not mean for this reading to be 45 minutes long, but it was needed to be heard. And I'm going to light this Palo Santo to end this reading, just to release anything egoic. Because again, I am a being having a human experience. I am not perfect by any means. So yes, here we go. All right, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Again, this is Naja Rashida Silvertree. I will see you in December. Goodbye.